Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Amazing Spider-Man issue 31, legacy number 925. That's a pretty nice cover right there, and this is a beefy one. And you're saying we're safe? Perfectly safe with this Spidey sense going off. So, it's kind of cool. 925 issues. Now this is a big boy. This one is $9.99, $10. So I could definitely understand. Was like, what the heck? Because normally they do it at like $9.50 or whatnot, and we're getting close to that. But I thought this was a good issue. Weird thing is, we had John Romita kind of tribute in the Avengers issue, but nothing here. Now, granted, this was probably planned out longer in advance, so I can kind of understand because of planning kind of issues and every fucking giant thing that kind of like happens in here. There's like the main stuff with the wedding, and all these other kind of teases. Now, most of them I was alright with. Some of the teases and stuff I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad that that's setting up Spidey stuff, but I kind of rather would have had certain other kind of things for this. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I liked most of the stuff that was going on, and especially the stuff that we deal with the bachelorette and bachelor party, and the wedding. We'll get to it. We don't really get much of it except for the setup of the kind of gang war kind of thing, which I kind of wanted a little bit more resolution on that front. Now, granted, we still have other issues to go for, but the thing that I have an issue with is the pacing kind of thing. What kind of information are we going to get? Hopefully we kind of deal more with what goes on, because stuff spins out of the wedding one, so let's kind of get into it. So we at first get the prelude of your presence is requested kind of thing, and we get Tombstone pretty much talking with the Underground, being like, we're at Arthur Avenue, the Bronx. It's cleared. We see Rabbit eating a carrot, saying that they're waiting for him, asking how they're taking it. Bad to really bad, I'd say. Good deal. And tell him that he's late, that the dentist couldn't stop their hands from shaking, that he had to cap his teeth again, that his baby is getting married to a square, and everybody's, yeah, we heard you. And it's interesting that none of you RSVP. It's like, the interesting kind of power dynamics of the criminal underworld. In fact, it's why I called a meeting. Now that's unfortunate, because we could have cleared this up over the phone. We don't think it's such a great idea, us going to the wedding. That's so? And then of course we get brought up that the owl tells that the rumor that the Kingpin's coming back, which is interesting because we have seen the Kingpin pop up in the Invincible Iron Man. Granted, timelining wise, I don't know how much this kind of lines up with here, but we know that Fisk is making moves and stuff, wants to rebuild his territory. Gathering together in public might not be a good idea, which, granted enough for these guys, that's a valid fucking point. It doesn't help that you've been using a softer touch in your operations of late. It could look like weakness, I've heard. Let me tell you all what's going to happen. I'm going to give my baby girl a nice, calm, safe wedding in Harlem, and that means each one of you is going to be there. Because the last time someone made a move on me, it wasn't the Kingpin, who's always treated me with respect, by the way. It was someone in this room. Throwers never had a seat at the table, Lonnie. Still, I would feel better if everyone was there on Saturday, sitting real close to me. If not, I could find your absence suspicious. I tend to lose the soft touch when I get suspicious. It's like, damn. Both sides make valid kind of points, as we see everybody kind of thinking about it like, rrr. They're like, see you on Saturday, fantastic. Can I tell them what I'll get to do them if they get out of line? Oh god, I would love it. That won't be necessary, Rabbit. See you all Saturday. And if you don't know it, learn the electric slide. It's like, Jesus. Somehow, by the end of this, I'm thinking, good god, this is like the worst kind of combination of work function and wedding, because weddings are hit and miss. Sometimes you're like you're on good terms with both parties, and the food's good and the music's good and everything, and sometimes you're just like, I am almost required by the universal law to be here. Like, if I don't, somehow I would still be here anyway, and you just have a horrendous time. It's like, yeah, that kind of feels like this is how this one would go. It's like, oh god, get me out, please. And then, of course, they're not liking how the rabbit talks to them. Tombstone being calm, mixed it up with Fisk right before that. Fisk ended up in jail. You're not still thinking Tombstone had something to do with Spider-Man taking down the Rose. I'm telling you, I know what I saw. Doesn't matter what Crime Master saw, and it doesn't matter what the Owl thinks. It only matters what the Kingpin believes. And if he believes Lonnie had something to do with his son getting got, we might want to get ahead of it. A move like that requires a unanimous vote, and mine hasn't changed. Then I'll let you explain that to Fisk when he asks. See you all at the wedding, as Madam Mask seems to be the one that's kind of the hold-up with a unanimous vote. So it's like, huh. And that kind of makes sense as we get later on. So, we've got Ramita art, and then we shift to Chapter 1, last night, as we see that there's this catty-ass girl bachelorettes that are like, we reserved this 3 months ago. Now, granted, if you had reserved it 3 months ago and somebody just comes in and fucking jacks your shit, yes. But still, their attitude is complete asshole. Like, I'm like, we reserved this 3 months ago. What's going on? Other party. And then they're just like, oh, God. And then talking about pre-gaming at Buffalo Wild Wings and everything. It's like the worst. Like, it's good, bad dialogue, if that makes sense. Like, I can get the feeling that, like, this person isn't trying to speak in, like, the writer understands how they're trying to get these characters to speak, rather than being like, hello, fellow children, fellow kids, all that kind of stuff. And then we see a tentacle pop out, and it's like, ooh, be on, ladies, you belong to the lower phylum of party. Hop, hop, mother thumpers, Janice Lincoln is getting married. And it's like, alright, that's a definite entrance. And I'm digging the art style. It's like, alright, cool. And then they're asking for drinks, they're drinking all of it. And your work friends are intense, but don't forget you're getting married tomorrow. They're showing up to braid your hair at 9 a.m. Ha! You don't change, Michelle. Feels like we're back at Columbia Hall. Nope, tonight is all gas and no brakes. I'm not going to be outdone by the groom. Can you imagine the debauchery Randy is getting up to? Oh, God. She has the better kind of party, and then this is physically painful, pretty much, reading this kind of stuff, because I feel for Peter, I feel for Randy, and I feel for everybody involved. So they're like at Atlantic City, and it's like the most boring fucking thing possible. Just being like, yeah, Atlantic City, huh? Yeah, wild stuff, right? Wild stuff. I can go get some quarters. Tokens? Sorry, don't come here a lot. Ugh, what smells? Guess, wait. Is that the cheese from your old apartment? Ha! Yes, it is. Remember? Kevin? Anyway, great water. And it just looks like, oh, God. Now we see that Felicia shows up to Janice's, bachelorette party. Rabbit's trying to get Michelle to dance. Felicia's like, I'm looking for Janice Lincoln. You invited the Black Cat? That's right. Felicia, thanks for coming. Grab a drink. It's my special day tomorrow. This is your bachelorette party? It is. Funny story. She runs with Spider-Man. She's practically a superhero. I will tolerate her because this is Janice's night. But I am not dancing with that stuck-up, as they all pretty much get into their own kind of groove, because sometimes you have those kind of people where it's like, I don't jive with them. And then sometimes you just click with them. So they're dancing pretty much. And then we see Michelle talking with Rabbit. Talking that she's a lawyer. Defense lawyer. So I don't trust anything that goes to college for 8 years and doesn't die. It's like, damn, what the fuck is going on with you, Rabbit? And Michelle's like, I always like school. And I'm like, okay, I like learning about stuff, so I get that. You know what I mean? And then Rabbit calls her a loser. You're wearing rabbit ears. Oh no, don't tell the dean. Jerk, nerd. It's like, damn. Like, Michelle tries, but of course Rabbit is just nutty. And then, the fucking crazy ass thing out of nowhere, Kareem's there. He's like, can I leave? Do I have to be here? Yes, Kareem, you're one of the girls. I totally feel for him, because there are certain situations where you are in a certain kind of group function that you're like, why am I here? Because you have to be. Why though? It's like, yeah. So then we shift, and we pretty much get Randy kind of getting pissed, understandably. But we also learn about other stuff going on for this. He asks about pretty much any of his other friends that pretty much they couldn't make it. They were in Rhode Island. They didn't get enough warning. Pete tries to pretty much take the fall on that one. And that Pete's just drinking water. It's like, I get it. People say that you gotta drink alcohol and stuff like that. It's like, there's some people that just don't want to drink. I get that. That's pretty much me. So I really get Pete's kind of thing. I was like, yeah, just water. And then Randy's just like, ugh. Sometimes you need that kind of person that doesn't drink, so that way you either record the stupid ass fucking shit that's about to occur, try to attempt to stop it, try to wrangle it, or something. Sometimes you need that kind of dude, or dudette. Guy. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. Anybody, to either record, attempt to stop, or try to minimize the damage as much as possible. And then we see the bachelorette party as they're taking shots. Call it Victor Von Boom. Doesn't taste strong. Oh, girl, famous last words. It's like, yeah. And then they pretty much decide to go into costumes. Oh, hold up. As your legal counsel for the night, I can't recommend that. And then, of course, Rabbit keeps egging them on. They go down to do their costumes. And Cream's like, please take me with you. As he's just sitting there with, streamers and shit on him. He's like, sweet good God. And then we see actually another kind of fun bachelor party going on in front of Pete and Randy. And it's funny. Kyler's getting married. And Pete's like, hey, you could go with him. What? No, gross. Yeah, agreed. Always feels like diet human trafficking. Yeah, never been a fan. Well, we do have a wedding tomorrow. Maybe we should hit the hay. Oh, God. My God. I can't believe you did it to me again. Did what? Made the night about you. You do, Peter. This thing you always do, showing up late, leaving early, makes everything about you. Tonight, letting you plan this, that was me giving you a chance to step up, to show up for your friend, to make it about me, for once. But I guess that was too much to ask, and I get that. I understand that for him. Though granted, Pete doesn't tell everybody the stuff that he has to do. It's like, if they don't know that, of course they're going to be pissed. So then we pretty much see everybody in their costumes playing on the bachelorette party, which makes sense. I mean, they're drunk, they've been dancing, they're just going around, and ladies' night, motherfucker. Wah, run, little piggies, as they're... Let's see. Should we worry about them? I don't know. Rabbit, should we worry about them? Nah, they're drug smugglers. Unauthorized some kind of Hydra shipment to a rival boss. Your boss would have busted it up anyway, so they already kind of did that. It's like, oh, okay. They did pretty good. Even though most of them are in kind of sketchy supervillain kind of territory, as one's pretty much electrocuting a motherfucker as it's going on. And she's going, look at him dance. It's like, that ain't cool. Holy fucking shit, that's kind of fucked up. And then we actually get some kind of cool dialogue between Janice and Felicia, which I didn't expect, and I like the kind of deeper dive into their characters. Felicia saying she's not joining the syndicate, that she works alone. Really got Spider-Man's goat. There it is. Nah, it's not like that. You're the best. Had to take the shot. And now I could say Black Cat was at my bachelorette party. So you're really getting married tomorrow? Yep. Randy Robertson. Good guy. I got one of those too. How do you make it work with all the stuff you get up to? Well, I'm sure you know. We fight about it a lot. There's something comforting about it. How he won't stop trying to make me quit. I know he cares. He's in it. I'd actually be a little worried if he stopped. But you know what I'm talking about, as we see that Pete hasn't brought that up, and that leads to pretty much what happens at the end of this story. And then we see that Pete's sitting alone, and then Randy comes back saying we need to talk. And then I wasn't gonna ride it. I'm a grown man. I just thought watching it would cheer me up. What? No. I talked to Josh. He said you gave him plenty of notice. Oh. Said he told you he wasn't coming tonight or to the wedding. Yeah. That what they all said, Randy? Fine, forget them. None of them even took the time to get to know her. People hear the word supervillain and they freak out. I know it stinks and it feels bad, but in their own way they're trying to be your friend as best they know how. And that's kind of cool that they're talking about this. And I think Randy's like, yeah, okay, they don't want to be here for me. That's fine. And you were just going to let me think this was all your fault? You know I was going to find out eventually, right? Yeah, but I figured we could give you a fun night before you did. I think I nailed that with the matching hoodies. All that stuff you said, it's true. I know that. Peter, stop. Yes, you are the absolute worst when it comes to the little things. When it comes to the big stuff, you're my best friend. And that's really cool, and I like that. It's just heartwarming. So what? It's right there. No, absolutely not. Final answer. It's like, and I expect to have like a whole conversation about a carousel. Knew I could get him to ride that thing. Pirate victory at best. But if you go to Atlantic City, you have to do something embarrassing. Still, it's good to laugh while you can. As we then see Felicia pop up and that whole thing. And they hug, you know I love you, right? Uh-oh, yeah. Look, I know I haven't been a barrel full of laughs lately. You haven't asked me to stop stealing things, not once. What? I realized that. Tonight, and then I realized I haven't tried to corrupt you, not even a little bit. And that made me think, what are we even doing here? Going through the motions? Going through the motions. It's like, shit. So this is pretty much where we see them part ways. Things got dark for you, and I think I was a little bit of light. I think it was a bit of light. That was fun for a while. I like lighting you up, but I want a relationship, not a project. Have you been stealing? Because you better stop. Nice try, Parker. It's like, yeah, good old, hey, at least he tried. You take care of yourself, Spider. You need me, I'm always there. Ditto, Cat. And I like that. It's a grown-up breakup, but they're still friends and they'll still help each other no matter what. It's like, it's very mature and I like that. Well, Parker, think you got all the bad luck out of the way. Should be nice and boring from here on out. Spoiler alert! We still got most of this comic, so no. Couple of grown men riding a damn carousel. Huh? Playtime's over, Robertson. You're mine! Ah! And someone jumps out at him. But we see that it's just Janice. Are you trying to kill me? If I was, you'd be dead already, Playboy. Now give Mama a kiss. Please don't say it like that. And then saying about its bad luck for the wedding, that she's a bad influence. Randy Robertson, I promise you, the most safe, buttoned up, dare I say, normal wedding that's ever been. My dad has guaranteed it. Tomorrow we are just two law-abiding citizens surrounded by our loved ones. But tonight we're going to be bad. Oh, wow. As she, like, drags him in with her suit. And, yeah. Fun times. So then we see Marcus Garvey Park wedding day. As we see that, like, Pete takes Aunt May to the like, bride or groom young lady. Very funny, Peter. Says that he's a handsome usher. I'm not going to argue with my aunt. We see Betty. Best man, eh? Yeah. Hurry up, will you? It's hot out. Oh, right away, Mr. Hammerhead. Don't worry your little round head what my name is. Understood. And the lady? She definitely don't got a name, if you follow me. That's great. I'm guessing you're here for the bride? Here you go, kid. Should cover the rent on that cheap tux. Oh, I'm not sure. Take it. This is bad. I've got a dangerous psychopath at the wedding, and I just sat him across the aisle from Aunt May. Yes, Peter. This is sadly your life. I know Tombstone is the father of the bride, but surely he didn't invite all his co-workers. Tick-tock, come on. Don't they train you chimps? It's like, God, he's got to take all of them. And he's just like, Randy, what did you get yourself into? Yep. As we see that he's kind of nervous, but his dad says that he's going to be fine. And that he wished he was calm. That could be arranged. Our old trade secret, as he gives him a flask of stuff. Let's see. Wedding party. It's, wedding party is up. It's go time. Wait, where is everybody? Let's just say okay, most of the ladies got into some trouble last night. The FBI might be looking for them. Might be or is. Ooh, which one are you? I mean, what's your secret identity? No secrets. I'm Michelle. I'm the boring friend from law school. Went to bed early. It's like, yep. And you? Huh? How was your night? Spider Sense just picked up the pace. Hard to focus. She broke up with me. Out of the blue. Oops. Hard to concentrate with every crime boss in the city grousing about their seats. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't. This is it, Pete. You ready, buddy? Oh yeah. We got this. All rise. Oh, wow. And I just love the expressions that we're able to get with this art. And then we get Janice getting walked down the aisle by Tombstone. And I like this. And just like that, I forget my friend's marrying Tombstone's daughter, the Beetle. I see Lonnie Lincoln and his little girl Janice. It's Randy's face that does it. Everything seems meant to be. Janice is like, I can't do this. Say the word, I'll start soon. Stop it. You're supposed to tell me I'm doing the right thing. Getting married? Always an insane decision. But that's the fun of it. Today, it doesn't matter that Randy is the son of a newsman and Janice is the daughter of a crime lord. She's your problem now, Dad. Thank you. Today, there's two kids in love. Two Spider Day sense. And then we see that as she's getting handed off, we see that his sense goes completely off. And boom! Weird dude on a motorcycle popping up. Who's that? Run! Peter, stay in front of me! As he's like trying to help Aunt May. A power grab? Bosses look as confused as anyone. The hell? You're gonna die today. You got the wrong day. It's like, ah shit, Lonnie's getting ready to crack ass. But then we see blam blam blam. And then Tombstone's like, yeah, I'm bulletproof. But he's then starts bleeding. He's severely injured. It's like, what the fuck? No one who knew what the fuck they were talking about. Oh! Let me see. Who was that? He's shooting, Randy. Keep moving. Janice's father is bleeding. Where's Peter? Move, May! You're surprised. That's okay. You had the leverage on every boss in the city, but no one sees every angle. What's your name, tough guy? I'll give you one guess. Hello from the new boss. As he's pretty much got his shotgun ready to take on Tombstone. But then, you see that Peter... Guess that makes me HR! Smacking in like as Spidey. However, he's in his more classic outfit. I don't know why... And that shift is kind of weird. Again, I don't mind as long as there's an explanation. But granted, seeing him in action in here, and the art style, I'm fine with it. But I would like an explanation. Saying that we've had some complaints about your management style, I'm just going to come out and say it. They concern the shotgun. I'm afraid we have to let you go. Unhappy with the severance package? Shut the fuck up. You started the boss thing. It's like... I love that. Was this your move, Hammerhead? If it was, you'll lose everything. Worry about getting out of here alive, Mask. This wasn't my move. As she gets put into a limo, and then he pulls this thing out and goes, heh. This was. As he then blows her ass up. It's like, god damn, everything's going to shit, pretty much setting us off with the whole gang war. And then the other woman says, wow, told you I'd show you a good time. You don't want to dance with me, boy. Stray bullets. Gotta end this quick. No time to be funny. Tree branch! Or make sense! As he smacks the dude with a tree branch. Hi-ho silver. And then, behind me, fast. I really actually fucking dig that reference. As his motorcycle's autonomous. And saying that the mark is down, that he's gone. Can't catch him on foot. Nothing to web onto. I love the Lone Ranger reference. So he then uses a tree to pretty much slingshot himself. But he can't see where he went. Sound on the motorcycle's gone, muffled. This guy's either really good or he had help. And it's like, yeah, definitely help. Then Randy's pretty much getting his parents out of there. Janice has other things to worry about as Lonnie's getting set up in the ambulance. And then May's like, I couldn't find you. I was so scared. How could I be so stupid? I convinced myself that Randy could join the Lincoln's world, that it could be safe. I won't make that mistake again. Because I have a feeling something started today that's far from finished. So that's kind of setting up that Randy and Janice are probably going to have to wait a while. And that Pete is going to more be kind of just going to try and stop them potentially, so that would definitely create some friction. And then we're talking about how Nick Lowell, who's Spider Editor, explaining what's going on and doing something special for 925. So, and then start shifting to stories that are kind of outside of the realm of the wedding, but still connect to what's been going on. Pete pretty much gives the lowdown to Ms. Marvel about what happened, about like the insanity of it, that she died, she shapeshifted into a decoy and got stabbed by a cursed blade, and it fucked up the dude's ceremony and he died instead. And she asked if everyone was sad. Yeah, I can't believe it. You have to believe, I never in a million years would have asked you to give your life, so I'm so sorry. No, the shapeshifting, I haven't done that in so long, wasn't sure I could do it anymore. It would have been really hard. This must have been important. You saved the world, Kamala. And this is really kind of cool for them to do that. And she's like, and I kind of like her kind of fused suit of X-Men and Ms. Marvel. Well, Spider-Man, thank you for filling me in. You know, with the gap in your Krakoan backup. Of course, not a confusing or scary concept at all. well, I've got to get back to the X-Men. And I love the way that she says it, and it like bubbles up and shows it as the X-Men logo. You don't have to say it like that every time. Kamala Khan save the world. Again, hot dog. Kamala. Can't believe I'm doing this. What? What are you doing? Why are you acting weird? I usually save this for kids with incurable diseases. Oh my god, is this happening? No way! As he reveals his identity to her. And it makes sense. Now granted, normally Peter does this kind of stuff for like stupid, or he says people with incurable diseases. But I think that she kind of deserves this because of how they worked together and worked with Osborn. But I know you. I worked with you. I was working with Spider-Man. I worked with Spider-Man. But you were such a nerd. I still am, I guess. Spider-Man is a nerd. I worked on an electric plasma engine with Spider-Man. Don't you have a ride to catch? I worked at Oscorp with Spider-Man. You were there for the same reason I was. You're keeping an eye on Norman Osborn. Oh, yes. Huh. You ever need help with that? Look me up. Remember, I'm a member of the X-Men. I will. Thanks. You be good, Spider-Man. You too, Ms. Marvel. The X-Men. Hot dog. And that's the end of that. So, that was a cute little thing, and I loved that what he thought to do would be to do the same thing for, like, reveal his identity and kind of give her the lowdown of what was kind of going on. So, I kind of like that. So, out of all the kind of craziness that happened out of that with Rabin and all that, and Wyatt, I kind of like that. So then we shift over to the bar with no name, the man with all the answers, as we see that Doc Ock's in the bar trying to figure out what he solved before, and all these other ones are like, why are you shushing me? Not now, Norton. They got an A-lister here. Who is it, Dr. Doom, the Red Skull? None other than the one and only Dr. Octopus. Silence, you nattering nincompoops. Can't you see that I'm trying to think? I know this. No, I knew this. The ultimate equation, the culmination of my life's work. Why does it elude me so? Perhaps the solution would present itself. If I were to relax, I need a beer. It's one of his octids, or like trying to give him a beer. Idiotic octid. Alcohol would dull my senses, and I need all my wits about me. I solved this, and I gain unlimited power. And power enough to crush all of my enemies. Yes, revenge on Osborn, the Owl, Fisk, but most of all, that accursed Spider-Man. Doc Ock is still smarting after that what Spidey did to him last issue. Hey, Doc. Taking a break? Maybe you'd like to shoot some... Enough! Do you know why I'm here, Cretan? Why I choose to patronize this establishment? Because you are all so far beneath me, no one would ever think to look for me here. Do you understand? All signs point to yes. Like, somebody was just like, hey, sometimes other stuff takes your mind off things. But of course, Doc Ock is obsessive of this. Good. Damn my mind. I knew this... I know I've solved this equation. Why can't I remember? Because you never solved it, you imbecile. I did, as we see the superior Spider-Man. It's like, of course, I found the answer back when I was him. Moments in time I can no longer fully remember. Very well. If I'm to relearn this great secret, I must return to my life as a superior Spider-Man. And that's setting us up for his turn as the superior Spider-Man again. So, we'll see how that kind of works out. Now, granted, I'm more into the amazing with the stuff with Peter and everything, but if you're into that, check it out. So then we shift over to Mary Jane and Paul dealing with the loss of the kids. Talked about how she got here, don't remember leaving the apartment, that the counselor saying it's okay to feel grief, it's okay to cry. But then she's like, how did I get here? I may never understand a world without Owen and Romy. Stephanie, she never did figure out which name she liked best. These days, my life feels like an out-of-sync orchestra. No specific moments stand out and everything is sort of muddy. She mentions this every time we're here, but it's been difficult to find a break from the pain. That there's waves and all that kind of stuff. Of course, trying to answer questions about everything going on with them. They're trying to figure out how they disappeared. Like, they were just animated glyphs. Symbols binding the emissary to her. If we're not even capable of processing it, how can we expect them to? It's like, yeah, almost to a certain point, you'd be like, alright. So she's kind of doing her stuff. Paul's doing his. We see the whole stuff of her being a new hero in the neighborhood, but she's just more pissed off at it. And I kind of like this art style. It kind of works with the kind of like action that's kind of going on when she's like ripping up the paper and then later on. Talking about being stuck in a cycle, mourning not only the loss of my kids, but also that they never truly existed. But if they weren't real, does that mean our love for them never mattered? And I do like them exploring this kind of thing. I disagree with that kind of fact because those emotions are real, but then you just have to figure out how to get through with them. Talking about all the stuff that she did with Romy and Owen, And then we see that Felicia pops up to kind of like help her kind of out of her funk. And it's just unrealistic. There were 7 other ways for them to escape from that trash compactor. You're wearing my sweater, Felicia. The green was working against you. It clashes with your hair. It is, however, a great color on me. So I've decided to keep it as a thank you. Huh? So go on. It's aerodynamic, near indestructible, and was tailor-made to complement your unique jackpot powers and tech, to which Paul made some upgrades. So don't you dare try to regift it, as she's given a super suit. And she's like, I'm not a hero like Peter or you. Well, I set an impossible standard, but your powers saved us in limbo. You've already been a hero more times than I can count. It's what Peter always says. With great guilt comes great sadness that hopefully leads to helping people. And they'd evidently worked together in Mary Jane and Black Cat Volume 2. It's like, yeah. Granted, not quite, but this city, everyone in it, they're better off without me. What happened with Romy Nolan was not your fault. I took the emissary's bait. I loved those kids and fought for them, and I put everyone at risk. And kind of yes, but you took those kids in because they needed your help. Using your heart is never a mistake, and I like how Felicia puts that, because yes, you might have fallen into the trap, but you got out of it. You worked with other people. Granted, there was a high cost, but we got other people to help out as well. And sometimes that crazy shit happens. And sure, maybe they weren't the same as us, but what does it matter? The way you loved and fought for them was real, and that's the important bit. And I like that she brings that up for him. You saved them even before you had powers, MJ, because it's who you are, and right now, this corrupt cesspit of a city could really use another hero. So don't be an idiot, okay? I'm like, yeah, use any kind of hero. And she's talking about how she got here, she loved them, and they needed my help, so I helped them. And I'm going to help other people too. And that's where I got an advantage. Peter said for years, and now I think I finally understand, as someone's screaming for help, she puts on the suit, which actually looks pretty cool. With great power must also come great responsibility. Face it, New York, you just hit the jackpot, as we set up with her using her jackpot powers. Then we shift to the bar with no name. Again, talking about how Doc Ock was there, but we see Taskmaster there. Hey, you know the rules, right? No fighting. Don't worry, Deke. I'll take this one outside. After all, we go way back, don't we? As somebody's coming after Taskmaster. And we see that it is Spider-Woman, and she's fucking pissed. And she kind of like cracks him through. He's like, that one was free for a third cheap shot. Go for a third cheap shot and we'll have a problem. You train cannon fodder for every organization that makes this world a worse place, Taskmaster. I need the names of your graduates. The worst of the worst. You know who I mean. You think I keep alphabetized manila folders? Employers on that level don't exactly want paper trails. As she just keeps going at him. And he's like, that's it. She's like, remember what my Venom Blast can do when I don't hold back. Hell, loyalty's never been my strong suit. And then pretty much tells her for the drop point. Consider it a favor. You only get one. Consider it a favor. Only one you'll get. Out of curiosity, though, this Avengers business, spider shenanigans are strictly personal. Try to keep out of whatever comes next, Taskmaster. Consider that my warning, my favor to you. Have you heard from Jess lately? She's not returning my calls, and I'm starting to get worried. And that's Marvel talking to Spider-Man. And Marvel's kind of going around talking to all these other people. Spidey's like, nah, not since our Spidey business. With the end of the Spider-Verse. Jessica Jones, it looks like. Help her tracking down a list of goons. I helped her out and weed out the dead and incarcerated, but Luke's job and Danny. Seriously, the threads of Jessica Drew's past are tangled, Captain Marvel. There are gaps in my vision, voids, but where I can see is dark and violent. As she finds them and like cracks through with them, it's like, God damn. And she's asking this one dude about stuff. Let's see. No one gets to just walk away from the monsters you worked for. Then you know that I'll die before I tell you anything. Wait, what are you? As he pretty much cracks on a cyanide capsule. And starts dying. No, you don't get to die on me, you son of a bitch. Not until you tell me, where is my baby? It's like, shit, somebody took her kid? So that's where that's going to be starting off. It's like, damn. Let's see. Then we get this kind of weird one. Where we learn about the mother of invention in the stately Stillwell Manor up in Westchester County, New York. As we get this, like, these animal people for, we see stuff going on in the paper. And then she calls Stillwell, hello, mother, saying if you were using her precious technology, like her one brother did to make Scorpion, then the other one to create the human fly, saying, are you threatening me that bad things need to happen to anyone who would dare attempt to copy the research of Madame Monstrosity? And we see that that evidently links up with like Rhino, Lizard, Morbius, and that Spider-Boy is one of hers. It's like, oh, okay. Haven't been really looking into Spider-Boy, but if you're into that, they're looking into that. And then we get a funny one, the case of Perry Thomas, a Spidey situation, where Spidey saves this one dude, and he then gets infatuated with the dude, and Spidey just has to keep kind of saving his ass. First from Rhino, then Sandman, then the Lizard, Vulture, and then we see that Johnny talks to him. He's like, there's this one dude who just keeps getting to be saved. It's like, oh, him. He was on the Fantastic Four for a little bit. You know, Ben, he can be pretty convincing. He had a little chat with him, and next thing we know, he's your biggest fan. Can Ben talk with him again? I must admit the guy's starting to get on my nerves. No way. He got a restraining order, but I'm sure we'll think of something. As we see this dude being like, this dude in a Spidey outfit being like, oh no, I'll just take you this way. Don't touch me, you're disgusting. You mean you won't be needing help today? At least the Fantastic Four had the decency to look me in the eye. You think you know people. After all we've been through together, disgusting Spider has been. As we see that it was Johnny, he's like, problem solved. And then we see that he sets his sights on Daredevil. It's like, oh god. So that was a funny little thing. Then we get Spider-Man Loosey Goosey, which is a funny kind of style as Spidey makes friends with a goose. And the goose eats his emergency cookie. At the end. And he helps him, like, fight Doc Ock. It's a cute little weird one. I like the art style and everything. Then we get Huntress one, where we see that Kraven is fighting and then teaming up, kind of, with the Goblin Queen. Or Queen Goblin. Talking about this intoxicating feeling, the electricity of being alive. So this is a gift I give my prey, the thrill of being hunted. In the chase, I know her by scent, by the pungent heat of her screams, a magnificent beast. Entire lives are lived in these moments when death is near, past and present, sharpened to a gleaming point, roaring with every breath you'll take. Roaring your life's fire, death feels such a tiny price. But no, not death, as they're banging. It's like, oh, okay, so this evidently is linking up with the hunt. Rage turned to passion, hers or mine, doesn't matter. She speaks of legacies worn, totems resurrected, a hunt to nourish us both, setting their sights up on Spidey, I guess. She's still but not sleeping. Does she fear me? Is she stalking me still? My heart no longer cares. It only beats with life's fire. So that's going to be continuing in the next issue, which definitely is a strange-ass tease. So we'll see how that kind of works out with Kraven and her kind of going after Spidey. It's like, oh, okay. And so that kind of ends it off with that kind of thing. But then we see a tease for Reign 2. I have not, like, Spider-Man Reign. I'm like, what the hell? As we see somebody kind of, like, crawling through rubble. And they're like, 10-year diet of an IV drip has left my body a bag of bones. Somebody screaming for help. And we see that it's this Waters dude. The explosion knocked me clear across the room before it all came down. And that he would, like, eat in front of Fisk. And it's like, can't feel my legs. Fisk, is that you? Thank God. Not your God, your king. But first, I'm going to break you. No. Haha, I can't feel anything. As I think Fisk ate the dude, which is fucked up. And then somebody's talking about Itsy Bitsy Spider and singing that. As we then see Fisk is, like, fucking huge as shit. And sorry to interrupt your bath, my king, but the civil agitation meters are hitting red. The council's asking permission up the levels of Serenas to compensate. Approved, but medication is only ever a temporary elixir. The king must serve his people and lead them to a permanent solution, transform them into the future, or bury them in the past. I've grown restless. I want DBN broadcast pushed up this week. Of course, Mayor Fisk. The city eagerly awaits your announcement. I wonder if they would be so eager if they knew what was coming. Peter, where did you go this time? I was with you. Silly Peter, you don't belong to me. You belong to them in the city, to the city, and it's calling for you. Can you hear the rhymes again? The children have begun to sing. So much hurt and pain and death. So many things you can't rewind. What did you let them do, Tiger? And what are you going to do about it? As we see that. It's like, oh, okay. That was just a nutty kind of one. So we got a lot of things in this issue. I liked seeing Tombstone gather up all the crime lords. I liked seeing the bachelorette party and the differences between that one and Pete's with Randy's. Really nice kind of moment to get more kind of characterization with Peter and Randy. Since I've started mainly on this run, it was nice to get more into Janice with her bachelorette party with Felicia, and then also Randy and Peter and understanding their relationship a little bit better. And then seeing Felicia and Peter act very grown up in how they kind of dealt with their relationship. The wedding got kind of nutty as we got everybody there, and this weird dude with a motorcycle and a shotgun shoots Tombstone. Hammerhead starts making his plays and taking out Madame Mass to pretty much get the go-ahead, I think, for taking on Lonnie or whatnot, or consolidating under Fisk. And then we'll have to see how that kind of works out. Setting up all the rest of the kind of issues. I really liked the stuff with Peter and Kamala. The Superior Spider-Man kind of setup's like, okay, we'll have to see how that kind of goes, how it'll affect the stories in here. I liked setting up with MJ and understanding her going with her grief and everything, and then acknowledging to start as Jackpot, and actually starting to do more kind of things. The Spider-Woman stuff, I hope she finds her baby. I won't be reading it, but if you're into that, look into it. Same with the Superior Spider-Man. Look into the Spider-Boy kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of freaky. I like the other kind of little one-shots. The dude who was always trying to get saved. The little kind of crazy thing with Peter and the Goose. It's really weird that Kraven and like the Goblin Queen are like together, and they're gonna like hunt or do shit with Spidey. So it's like, oh, okay. And then setting up a sequel to Spider-Man Reign. So there's a lot of stuff in this, and your mileage varies. If you're into what's been going on in this run, you definitely, I think, get your money's worth with that regard, and then you just get stuff that you can either read if you want, that can be entertaining to set up things that you're like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool to read, even though I'm not going to read it, or I could understand how people are like, it's $10, this doesn't really do it for me, so I get it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of the stuff in here, even though some of the stuff had like nothing for me really to connect to this run, but we'll see what kind of goes on. The gang war stuff's going to be nutty. We got Kraven in the mix. We've got Doc Ock going to Superior Spider-Man, seeing how that'll affect the stories. There's a lot of crazy things going on here. Though granted, when it's billed as a wedding issue, I kind of hope that you even, like, the wedding almost happened. So I would really like to see more kind of conclusion on that front, if they actually do get married at a certain kind of point or not. But I overall enjoyed this and can't wait to see what happens within the next continuation of this run. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.